He's slimy, creepy, fast and strong. He's every shape and size. He's Ben 10. Hey guys, Davik here. And this is my video review of the first two issues of the new Ben 10 comic from Dynamite Entertainment, the guys behind the Red Sonja comics, and, well, a whole bunch of comics that are adapting old cartoons into new comics and getting some pretty high critical praise. And out of all the... And yeah, when I saw that there was going to be a new Ben 10 comic, I was really excited for it because... Yeah, I was a kid around the time Ben 10 and was airing on Cartoon Network. I really enjoyed it. Ben was one of the first superheroes I actually followed. I followed the series all the way up to Ultimate Alien, although I dropped off a bit, I think season 3 of Ultimate Alien, and checked in the Omniverse here and there, which I think is kind of overhated. And I only knew about the reboot for like a few months ago, but yeah. Bit of a Ben 10 fan, and really looking forward to this book. And maybe that's also why I hate to say this book is kind of a mixed bag for me. And I can say this is for one simple reason. Reason that you can see with your eyes. I do not like the art on this book. Look, Robert Carey's artwork feels... what's the best way I can describe it? It feels a bit too grimy for me to fit Ben 10's aesthetic. And don't get me wrong, Ben 10's full of a lot of gross stuff. The transformations from the episodes are pretty gross, and it definitely kind of fits that. It definitely kind of fits that in certain places, but I don't know. I remember the Ben 10 art style. In my view, is really cartoony, really cool. Very old school Silver Age comic booky. But I don't know. I'm sure this aesthetic just doesn't really work for me, or at least I don't think it works for Ben 10. And it doesn't also help that the colors feel muted. This is supposed to be a bright green glow from the Omnitrix, but it's just again really muted. And yeah, that could kind of go with the more a bit of the more dour tone that I'm going for the comic. Ben is, and we see Ben and freaking out a bit more, or in terms of, or when the Omnitrix goes off. There's, and there's definitely a bit more seriousness because the U.S. military is getting involved early on. But yeah, kind of not a fan of it. Although I will say, the art style itself might not be good, but I am digging some of the alien designs. That's for a lot of these creatures. And I think it also kind of helps that the Omnitrix seems to be somehow even more broken than it was in Season 2 of the original show. Well, because, the it kind of seems like the 10-minute transformation time limit's kind of non-existent. There is still a bit of recharge period, but it seems very short. However, this is kind of tempered by the fact that, well, the writers of this comic are the writers of the original cartoon. It's a bit more serious, this take on the material, but it works. Ben's still a pretty fun kid to look at. Max is still kind of shady, and as we see by the end of issue 2, Ben and Gwen is still awesome. Because, she sees Cannonball, this weird alien thing, and decides to try and run him over with the RV, not knowing that it's Ben. And Cannonball's here. Kind of seems like he's replacing Ghost Freak in this iteration, which is kind of going to be interesting since the next arc is going to deal with Zombozo. Oh, and I didn't really go into the plot because, well, the plot of issues 1 and 2 and follow, it was basically an extended version of the original pilot. Ben and Gwen are kids. They're hanging out with their grandpa Max for the summer. Weird alien shenanigans happens. Ben's origin is about as classic as you can get. Although, speaking of Grandpa Max, one last final thing on the art. Ben and Gwen kind of look similar to their their original counterparts. Max, I don't know what's going on with Max's design. If I told you this guy was Grandpa Max, if he was Max Tennyson, you would think I was lying, but nah, he is. And yeah, he's definitely a bit more serious. We definitely are getting more of his plumber status early on. So, yeah. that's Ben 10 issue 1 and 2. Issue 1 is a 3 out of 5 for me. But because yeah, the artwork was just that jarring to me. But issue 2 is kind of a 4 out of 5 because the pacing kicks up a bit more. And we're definitely getting into we're definitely going to be getting the climax with the big diamond head fight in issue 3. So yeah, that's my overall view of Ben 10. I'm still sticking around for the series. There isn't, like I said, the arc after, according to solicitations, the arc after this is the Zombozo arc. And who knows, maybe Robert Carey's art style is going to fit better in that story than it does for like Ben's intro arc. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when I review the next issue. Until next time, have a great day.